Test Drive with Graham Fletcher.
This is the 1992 Toyota Paseo, a car literally hot off the assembly line. Now with this vehicle, Toyota are obviously hoping to cash in on the growing popularity of two-door sports cars. The Paseo is the third all-new Toyota nameplate to appear in the past 15 months. First came the Previa minivan, then the luxurious Lexus lineup. Incidentally, next week on Test Drive we will be looking at the latest Lexus, the SC400. While the Paseo is based on the Tercel, it was developed as a parallel project. As such, the Paseo does not share any exterior body panels, and only the interior design gives away the Tercel influence, the instrument panel in particular. The binnacle that houses the instruments follows the same contour as the steering wheel. This ensures the driver an unobstructed view of the comprehensive analog dash. The remainder of the primary driving controls are well placed and easily operated, although some will find the radio placement at the extremity of their reach. I still find the dash vents rather ugly, no matter how functional Toyota insists they are. The front seats are generally comfortable and provide plenty of lateral support thanks to the large side bolsters. I say generally because I found the curvature of the seat back a little too pronounced for my frame. Complementing the driving position is a very well-placed dead pedal. The Paseo is described as a 2+2. Now the +2 portion, while it offers a reasonable amount of legroom and certainly plenty of hip room, there's zero headroom because of the very sharp rake of the rear window. At the heart of the Paseo is a totally new 1.5-litre 16-valve twin-cam engine that produces 100 horsepower and 91 pounds-feet of torque. The nice thing about the new engine is its willingness to rev to the red line. This and the fact that the smooth-shifting 5-speed will pull almost 100 kilometers an hour in second gear gives the car a very sprightly feel. On the skid pad we turned in acceleration times of just over 9 seconds, which is respectable to say the least. The suspension features independent McPherson struts complete with a stabilizer bar up front and a torsion beam in the rear. In the pylon test, the Paseo tracked a fairly true line with only modest body roll and minimal understeer. The limiting factor here was the fact that I could beat the power steering fairly easily. In the real world, this does not affect the handling characteristics unless you encounter an obstacle you must avoid in a hurry. The brake system is of the front disc rear drum variety. In the brake test I found the pedal easy to modulate. This means the threshold is easy to find, and so you can derive the very best from the brakes without locking them up prematurely. One thing that did bother me though was that both vehicles tested displayed a small amount of brake chatter when stopping from higher speeds. My pet peeve on the Paseo has to do with rearward visibility. Now, the size and chunky nature of these pillars tends to limit your field of vision. Now to the scoreboard for a rundown on the 1992 Toyota Paseo. The Paseo's new 100-horse 1.5-litre engine provided very good throttle response and quick acceleration, averaging just over 9 seconds to race to the 100k mark. Perhaps the most endearing feature though is its very free revving nature. This makes the car easy to drive under just about any circumstance. Despite the comment about the power steering, the Paseo fared rather well in the pylon test. Body roll is kept to an acceptable amount, yet the suspension proved to be compliant and comfortable, a trait sure to please many customers. The power-assisted disc drum setup provided straight fade-free stops that averaged 122 feet from 80 kilometers an hour. Combine this with a pedal feel that is easy to modulate and you have one of the better non-ABS systems available on a small car. The supportive seats and supple suspension provide a high degree of comfort for the front passengers. As with most multi-valve engines, it made the occupants aware of when it was working hard. Wind noise and tyre noise were minimal. Given the performance, the average fuel economy of 8 litres per 100 kilometres or 35 miles per gallon for the manual and 9.1 litres per 100 kilometres or 31 miles per gallon returned by the automatic is reasonably good. In conclusion, the Paseo is sure to appeal to the growing number of consumers seeking a sporty car that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. The performance and ride are well balanced, managing to stay on the right side of the fine line that separates the good from the bad.
So here's the question. Where were you 32 years ago? I know some of you weren't even a glint in your father's eye. As for me, well, I was in diapers, but found time to get Motoring TV off the ground. And today I like to think we've got one of the best automotive video libraries in the world. If you agree, please give us the thumbs up and also subscribe. We'd really appreciate it.